My name is Rachel, and I am 29 years old. I am a single mother to a beautiful 6-year-old son named Noah. Noah is my entire world. He is the reason I wake up every morning and the reason I never give up. 2 years ago, my husband left us. He said he needed space. He said he was not happy. He packed his bags and walked out the door and never came back. I was left with a broken heart and a child to raise all alone. I had no family nearby. I had no savings. I had no backup plan. I worked as an administrative assistant at a small marketing firm. It was not a glamorous job. It did not pay much, but it paid the bills and kept food on the table. I would wake up at 5 every morning to get Noah ready for school. I would drop him off and rush to work. I would work 8 hours and then rush to pick him up. I would make dinner and help him with homework and put him to bed. Then I would work on my own tasks until midnight. I was exhausted, but I never complained. I smiled through the pain. I kept going because I had no other choice. Then one day everything fell apart. My boss called me into his office. He was a cold man named Mr. Anderson. He rarely spoke to me. He never looked me in the eye. He closed the door and sat behind his big desk. He said, "Rachel, we need to let you go." I felt like the ground had opened up beneath me. I asked why. He said, "We need someone who can focus fully on the job. Someone without distractions." I knew exactly what he meant. He meant Noah. He meant that I was a single mother and he did not think I could handle the job. I was fired because I had a child. I was fired because I was trying to survive. I walked out of that office with my head held high. I did not cry in front of him. I waited until I got to my car. Then I broke down. I cried for a long time. I cried for my lost job. I cried for my son. I cried because I felt like the world was against me. I drove home with tears streaming down my face. I looked at myself in the mirror and said, "What am I going to do now?" I sat in my car for an hour. I could not move. I could not think. I could not breathe. I felt like everything I had worked for was gone in an instant. I had given that company 3 years of my life. I had worked overtime without complaining. I had covered for other employees. I had never taken a sick day. None of it mattered. I was just a single mother to them. I was someone they could easily replace. I went inside my apartment and looked at Noah. He was playing with his toys. He looked so innocent and happy. He did not know that his mother was falling apart. He did not know that we might lose our home. I hugged him and kissed his forehead. I told him I loved him. I told him everything would be okay. I did not know if that was true, but I had to say it. I had to be strong for him. I spent the next 2 weeks applying for jobs. I sent out over 100 resumes. I called every company in town. I went to interview after interview. I got rejected every single time. They said I was overqualified. They said I was underqualified. They said they found someone better. They said they would call me back. They never did. My savings were gone. I had no money for rent, no money for food, no money for anything. I started skipping meals so Noah could eat. I would tell him I already ate. I would sit in the dark and stare at the ceiling. I felt like a failure. I felt like I had let Noah down. I was supposed to protect him and provide for him. I could not even keep a job. I thought about giving up. I thought about calling my ex-husband and begging for help. But I did not. I could not. I had too much pride. I had too much determination. I kept going. I kept hoping. I kept praying. One night Noah asked me, "Mommy, why are you sad?" I looked at his innocent face and I realized I could not let him see me broken. I smiled and said, "Mommy is fine, baby. I am just tired." He hugged me and said, "I love you, Mommy." That was the moment I decided to fight back. I decided I would not let this world defeat me. I decided I would find a way. No matter how hard it got, I would never give up. I went to the library the next day. I used their computers to search for jobs. I also started researching online businesses. I had always been good with words. I used to write poems and short stories as a girl. I wondered if I could make money writing. I started looking into freelance writing. I learned that companies pay people to write content for their websites. I created a profile on a freelancing platform. I did not have high hopes. I just wanted to try something. I worked on my profile for hours. I wrote samples. I made it look professional. Then I started applying for gigs. I applied to 10 jobs that first night. The next morning, I woke up to one email. It was a client who wanted to hire me. I could not believe it. It was not much money, but it was something. It was a start. I worked on that first project for 3 days. I wrote blogs and articles for the client. They were happy with my work. They gave me a 5-star review. That review opened more doors. More clients found me. I started getting more work. I was working from my tiny apartment. I would wake up at 5 in the morning and write until midnight. I would take breaks to pick up Noah and make his meals. But I never stopped working. I was determined to make this work. My income started growing. It was not much at first, but it was enough to pay the rent and buy food. I felt like I could finally breathe. I kept learning and improving. I studied better writing techniques. I learned about SEO and how to write content that ranks on Google. I invested in a better laptop. I created my own website. I started getting more clients from all over the world. People were actually paying me to write. I was a single mother, and I was building a business from my kitchen table. I remembered that day I was fired. I remembered Mr. Anderson telling me I was too distracted because I had a child. I thought about him and I smiled. He had given me the best gift he could give. He pushed me to find my own path. I would not have become a writer if he had not fired me. Life had a strange way of working out. 6 months passed. I was making enough money to support Noah and myself. I was not rich, but I was stable. I had a routine. I had hope. I had a future. Then one day I got an email that changed everything. It was from a large publishing company. They had seen my freelance profile. They wanted to offer me a full-time position. They were impressed with my portfolio. They had read my work and wanted to work with me. I felt like I was dreaming. I called them back and scheduled an interview. The interview was over a video call. I dressed in my best blouse. I put on makeup. I wanted to look professional. The interviewers were impressed. They asked about my background and my experience. I told them my story. I told them I was a single mother who had been fired and had started freelancing out of desperation. They were moved by my story. They said, "We admire your resilience. We want to offer you a position as our lead content manager." I could not believe it. The salary was more than double what I used to make. It came with benefits and flexibility. They said they admired people who did not give up. They said they wanted someone with a real story, someone who had faced real struggle. I accepted the offer without hesitation. I started working for them a week later. I was still working from home. I still had time for Noah. I was finally living the life I had always dreamed of. I was successful. I was happy. I was proud of myself. I had done it all alone. I had taken rejection and turned it into opportunity. I had been knocked down, but I stood back up. I had proven that a single mother could succeed. I thought about Mr. Anderson. I wondered if he knew what he had done. I wondered if he knew that he had pushed me towards something better. I decided to write him a letter. I did not write it to be mean. I wrote it to thank him, because without his cruelty, I would not have found my true path. I put the letter in the mail and let it go. It was time to move on. It was time to let go of the pain and embrace the future. I had spent too many nights crying over a man who did not value me. I had spent too many hours worrying about what I could not change. Now I was ready to focus on what I could build. 2 years later, I was the head of the content department at that publishing company. I had a team of writers who respected me. I had a comfortable salary and a beautiful home. I sent Noah to a good school. I gave him everything he needed and more. I looked back at my journey and felt nothing but gratitude. I had been fired and broken. I had been rejected and humiliated, but I had never given up. I had kept going. I had believed in myself even when nobody else did. That was the greatest lesson I learned. Life is not about how many times you fall. It is about how many times you get back up. I started writing a blog about my experiences. I wanted to inspire other single mothers. I wanted them to know that they were not alone. I wanted them to know that they could succeed too. I received messages from women all over the world. They told me my story gave them hope. They told me they were also struggling, but they would keep fighting. That was all I needed to hear. I had made a difference. I had used my pain to help others. And that was the most beautiful thing of all. I also started a mentorship program for single mothers who wanted to start freelancing. I offered free guidance and resources. I wanted to give back what I had received. I wanted to pay it forward because I knew what it felt like to be alone and scared. I knew what it felt like to have no one to turn to. I wanted to be the person that I needed when I was at my lowest. The program grew quickly. More and more women joined. They shared their stories with me. Some of them had been through even worse than I had, but they were still fighting. They were still hoping. They were still believing. That inspired me more than anything else. I realized that my story was not just about me anymore. It was about all the women who were struggling in silence. It was about all the mothers who were fighting to give their children a better life. It was about all the people who had been told they were not good enough but refused to believe it. I became a voice for them. I became a symbol of hope. I did not set out to be that. I just wanted to survive. But somehow I became more than that. I became someone who could lift others up. And that was the greatest success of all. My story is not just about losing a job. It is about finding yourself when everything falls apart. It is about discovering your strength when you have nothing left. It is about a mother who refused to let her son see her broken. I still think about Mr. Anderson sometimes. Not with anger, with gratitude. Because he taught me something valuable. He taught me that sometimes the worst moments lead to the best outcomes. He taught me that you cannot keep a determined woman down. I am Rachel. I am a single mother. And I am unstoppable. I look at Noah now. He is 8 years old. He is smart and kind and full of life. He does not remember the days when we had nothing. He does not remember the days when I cried myself to sleep. He only remembers the love. And that is all that matters. I have learned that success is not about money or status. It is about peace. It is about knowing that you did your best. It is about being able to look yourself in the mirror and be proud of who you have become. I am proud of myself. Not because I am rich. Not because I have a good job. But because I never gave up. I faced every challenge with courage. I turned every setback into a comeback. I proved that a single mother can achieve anything she sets her mind to. I want every single mother watching this to know something. You are enough. You are strong. You are capable. Do not let anyone tell you otherwise. The world will try to break you. People will doubt you. Life will knock you down. But you have the power to get back up. You have the power to write your own story. You have the power to create a future that your children will be proud of. Do not give up. Keep going. Keep fighting. Keep believing. Your breakthrough is coming. Your miracle is on the way. And one day you will look back and smile. You will realize that every struggle was worth it. Every tear was worth it. Every sleepless night was worth it. Because you made it. You survived. You thrived. And that is the most beautiful victory of all. This is my story. This is my truth. And I am sharing it with you so that you can find your own strength. So that you can find your own voice. So that you can find your own path. Because you deserve it. You deserve happiness. You deserve success. You deserve love. And you will have all of it. Just keep going. Just keep believing. Just keep fighting. And one day you will look back and say, I did it. I made it. And I am so proud of myself. That day will come. I promise you. It will come, so hold on. Hold on tight. Because the best is yet to come.